All right, good morning. It is a foggy and cold morning here in Denver, Colorado, as we enter the Thursday night countdown, getting into week 8 of this NFL season. And we're back today for me to give you guys my predictions of who is going to win each and every game this weekend. And then we'll follow it up just like we did this week, next week, to see just how good and or not good I did. I hope you guys are having a great day. Thank you for tuning in, and let's get into it. All right, welcome back in, everybody. As I said in that intro, we are going to go through each and every game for NFL Week 8. I'm going to give you all of my predictions for the outcomes of those games. And then next week on Takeaway Tuesday, we'll see just how good and or not good I did. Last week I went 6-7. That's going to go right here because your boy finally is figuring this thing out and he's pumped about it. So, 6-7 last week. Losing record, I don't like that. I'm not a big fan of losing. I'm kind of a poor sport. You can ask anybody. I don't like losing games. I don't like losing anything. I don't like losing arguments, and especially when it comes to football. I get a little salty about that kind of stuff. So I'm back for redemption week 8, and we are going to hope that we get a little bit more W's coming out of week 8 than we did out of week 7. Sorry about this focus thing. This camera kind of auto focuses. I've been noticing it a lot more in all my videos, so I apologize. The technology may or may not be smarter than me. It is yet to be decided. Alrighty, everybody. Let us go ahead and get started on the predictions, starting with tonight, Thursday night football. It is the Bucs at the Bills. Give me the Bills. The Bucs just don't look... I said it last week. I'll say it again this week. They just don't look consistent enough. The Bills still are pretty high octane. I worry that the time frame for the Bills to have won their Super Bowl is it might be here and gone. But I still have faith that the Bills Mafia is going to pull this thing out. They're going to get loud and rowdy. I guarantee you it's going to be cold tonight up in Orchard Park. But give me those Bills. The Bills are favored to win via all the sports books. But I'm going to go Bills anyway. I'm going to go Bills with that projection. The Bucs just, they're not doing it for me this season. So I'm going Bills over Bucs. Vikings at Packers. No matter what, I'm going Packers. Okay, Packers are going to win. I'm hoping we get a little bit more. As long as we learn something every week, this game I think could be a big deal. I mean, obviously for divisional purposes, it's going to be a big deal, but I think, the Vikings are still very hit or miss, still pretty wounded. They looked really good against San Francisco last week, but I just don't have the same faith. I don't think that they're going to pull through as much. I'm hoping that the Packers have learned something as we're going. The trade deadline coming up on Monday. I'm hoping that we pull something together and make a positive push starting up around now. Give me Packers over Vikings. They can skull right the hell out of here. Let's move on. Rams at Cowboys. Dem boys. Gonna go with the Cowboys. Cowboys are favored to win this game. The Packers are favored to win the previous one. Sorry, I should have said that when I was on that one. But Cowboys are favored to win. Give me the Cowboys. Again, the Rams just seem inconsistent. I don't have faith that they're going to beat a Cowboys team that honestly has looked pretty good this year. They've had some slips, but in their first 2 games, they outscored their opponents 70-10. Yeah, sure, those were the New York teams, the Jets and the Giants, but I think that the Cowboys look really good, and from what I've heard, they're not going to make any moves at the trade deadline because they think they have the squad. We'll see if that pays off in the long run for them. I always have doubts. The Cowboys are way less of a late season push than most other places, so we'll see how that pays out for them, but I'm going to go Cowboys over the Rams. Let's go Falcons at Titans. Give me the Falcons. The Falcons are favored to win as well. I like kind of the position that the Falcons are in. They have a lot of really good weapons. If Ritter could tighten up a little bit, I think that their team looks vastly different. But finally starting to get a little bit of that run game going. Like I said last week, the receiver core is finally starting to look really good, and we need that defense to step up. The Titans just look wounded, and I've already heard talk of, Derrick Henry possibly getting traded out of there, stuff like that. It sounds like they're already kind of packing up for the year. I also heard, I can't remember off the top of my head who their rookie quarterback is, but that it's Levis. Levis is their quarterback. I heard that Levis is going to get his first official start this weekend. Starting a rookie is always kind of, when you're in the mid-season range, it's not necessarily a sign that you're throwing in the towel, but it is a sign that you're grasping at straws to try to find something that will work positively for your unit going into the late season. So hopefully something can come out of that. Good luck to Will Levis. I'm taking the Falcons over the Titans. Let's go to Saints at Colts. I'm going to take the Colts. The Saints are actually favored to win this game. I think that is hot garbage. Kamara is about the only positive thing they have going. Derek Carr is in the weeds. And Michael Thomas does not look like 2019 Michael Thomas by any stretch. The Colts, look at the Colts they took it to the Browns last week. They almost had it. The refs were not on their side, as the entire league and every fan has started talking about in this last week. But I think the Colts are finally figuring it out. Minshew is looking all right. Taylor is waking back up from his long hibernation, getting Pittman involved again. I think that there's going to be some positive stuff coming out of Indianapolis, and it's going to be a dub against those Saints. Give me the Colts. Let's move to Patriots at Dolphins. Give me the Dolphins. The Patriots may have beaten the Bills last week, but to me that doesn't mean that the turnaround has happened for them, all right? I think that the Dolphins are going to come off of that wicked loss to the Eagles, and it is going to be Revenge Sunday for them, and they are going to beat the holy heck right out of this wounded Patriots squad. I could be wrong. Maybe Mac Jones is awakened, but I think that Tua is going to come out there and decimate all. Give me those Dolphins over those Patriots. Jets at Giants. Who's home? Who's away? The Giants are technically the home team. The Jets are the away team. The Jets are favored to win, and I am going to take the Jets. However, I will say this one could be tight. I think coming out of the bye week, the Jets have now had an opportunity to tighten up a little bit. I heard week 8 was going to be when Aaron Rodgers would start to have his presence in their building again. So hopefully we're getting some positivity out of Aaron Rodgers heading towards week 8. Tyrod Taylor for the Giants has looked incredible. He's giving new life to this team, and hopefully they can turn a corner and start to get positive. Get Daniel Jones on the bench, play Tyrod Taylor, and let those Giants start to cook up. I love this game. I love the New York crosstown thing in the same building. I'm pumped for it. Give me the Jets. The Jets over the Giants. Sorry, Dad. That's just how it's going to go. Let's go to the next one. Jags at Steelers. Jags are favored to win, but give me those Steelers. That 4-2 record looks pretty, and they are also finally starting to come into their own. Maybe a little bit of a later season heat up than Mike Tomlin is generally accustomed to, but I like it. I like what's going on. The Jags still feel really inconsistent. Trevor Lawrence is still questionable this week with that same knee injury as last week. The projection is that he will play, but you don't want to keep pushing it for too long and too hard, or else maybe you won't be there for the late season push that your team needs. Calvin Ridley, hot garbage. He was on, if you guys are on TikTok, he was on Busts Anonymous this week, and he should have been the bust of the week. He should have been the bust of the week. He's a hot garbage. Absolute trash. It's like he's gambling again. He's gambling against himself again. That might not even be true, but he sure as hell looks like it. Give me those Steelers. That steel curtain defense is going to come back and whoop on those Jacksonville Jaguars. Give me them Steelers. Eagles at Commanders. Do we even need to go there? They're already talking about Ron Rivera getting fired, being the only possible mid-season coach fire so far, especially after last week's just bummer loss to the Giants. The Eagles are going to decimate them. It is a divisional game, and I think those Eagles are going to come in and fly Eagles fly all over those Commanders. Eagles over Commanders for sure. Moving on. Texans at Panthers. Give me the Texans. The Panthers are absolute trash. They are definitely hunting for a new quarterback, which sounds awful when you have a rookie quarterback or, whatever. That team is a mess. They're going to head towards a complete and utter rebuild at this point in time. The Texans don't look great either, but I will hands down take the Texans. CJ Stroud and Nico Collins, I'll take those guys all day over a absolutely devastated Panthers team. Pack it up for the season, I guess, Panthers fans, because it has not been a pretty one, that's for sure. They even won a game yet? I think the answer is no. I'm gonna just take a peeky real quick, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 0-6. Here, 0-6. Call it a year. That's how I feel about that. The Texans are favored to win. No surprise there. Let's go to Browns at Seahawks. I was actually surprised to see that the Seahawks were favored to win, but I actually agree with them. I think that the Seahawks are going to roll through and beat Cleveland. That Cleveland defense is still pretty stifling. Myles Garrett is arguably at the top of his game. Going to be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate for sure, especially with all of the power he brought to sealing that Colts game last week. But that Colts game was way closer than I think most people thought, right? That defense just stifled a pretty beat-up Colts team, and they didn't. With that being said, I always have faith with Geno being I'm going to go mid. He's pretty mid. He's average. He's not the best. He's not the worst. There's really nothing that I have that's like a super crucial up or down for him. But when you have Lockett and Metcalf, the combination is pretty incredible. Walker, I saw, was questionable with a calf or a quad or something like that. Hopefully, with some optimism, he can play as well. And that team, I think, will roll through if they're healthy heading into that game. Give me Seahawks over the Browns. Chiefs at Broncos. It shouldn't even need to be said. Patty Mahomes owns Denver, and he is going to absolutely smash them Broncos at home. Hopefully it's not as close as the last one. And with the trade deadline nearing, I had posted on my Facebook literally yesterday. Let me see if I can find the exact post. But the Broncos have already kind of slipped and leaked the possible people who they think are going to... they're listening to trade offers for. The list is Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, Garrett Bowles, Josie Jewell, Justin Simmons, and Pat Surtain. That is a fire sale, ladies and gentlemen, trying to open up some cap space because of the deficit that their nifty quarterback will cost them. Let's see, if they trade him in 2024, they'll have $68 million in dead cap space. So they're not trading him next year. And then in 2025, it does not get a whole lot better. It's still something like $49.6 million in dead space if they trade him next year. So the longer they hold him, the better it does for their money. You don't want to have that much dead cap just hanging out. So the fire sale, I think, will begin. There's a chance it happens before we get to Sunday with the Chiefs. Only time will tell. Those Chiefs are just going to absolutely rock the Broncos. That's how that's going to go, in my opinion. On to the next one. Ravens at Cardinals. Again, shouldn't even need to be said. Those Ravens are going to absolutely decimate the Cardinals. The Cardinals do not look how they once did, for sure, with a 1-6 record. I don't know Kyler's status heading into this week and stuff like that, but I don't think it matters with or without him. If the Ravens look this week, even remotely how they looked last week, they are going to sandbag the Cardinals and roll to an easy win this week. So for them, they got to be keeping a watchful eye on that Steelers-Jags game, as the Steelers are also going to be kind of chewing up, trying to keep up there too. Give me the Ravens very obviously over the Cardinals. Bengals at Niners. Niners are favored to win, but give me those Bengals. I don't have faith now, man. Purdy's human. He doesn't look how he looked for, all of last season and the beginning of this season. He doesn't look that way. If he can snap out of it and get back to last season form, early this season form, they have an absolute chance, because the Bengals have not looked how they once did either. But if they are going to play offense the way that they have played the last 2 weeks, this is a Bengals game. I don't have faith. I think that Brock hasn't had this slump in the big league here yet, and I think it's going to be tougher for him to work out of it than we all had thought or hoped that it would be. Give me those Bengals over those 49ers for that upset. On to the Sunday night game, Bears at Chargers. Again, this is a scrub fest. I'm going Chargers over Bears. The Bears are not playing Justin Fields again this week, so maybe this is completely wrong and those Bears have discovered new life with a new quarterback under center. Maybe it is Justin Fields who is the kryptonite to their whole squad. But I think the Chargers still look like they should be the better team. And if Eckler and Allen and Herbert can get their heads out of their booties, maybe they can just decimate these Bears and roll on out of here. Chargers over Bears. And then on to the Monday night game, which is Raiders at Lions. Lions favored. Give me those Lions. I think last week was a fluke. They got absolutely beat on last week by those Baltimore Ravens. I think that this week they tune back up on a subpar Raiders team and just absolutely decimate them. See if we can get Goff back into the form he was in a couple weeks ago. Get that run game going again. Get Amon-Ra rolling. And let's see if those Lions can pull it out. But give me those Lions over the Raiders. That will conclude the list, the lovely list of my predictions for this week. I'm keeping the lists so that everybody can see just exactly how we're doing. I'm also keeping it up on my whiteboard. Again, I am 6-7. Don't like that. I want this week to be better. I feel confident in my calls for this week. I think it's going to look a lot different this week than last week. Only time will tell, though. I think it's going to be a fun and interesting week heading into week 8 of the NFL season. That's going to conclude this video for today, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning into the predictions. Drop your predictions in the comments section. Let me know who you think is going to win, who you think is going to lose, and let's see who can get the most correct answers this week. I think that'd be a fun little in-house competition for all of us. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. The countdown to the Thursday night game obviously starts right now. Please remember to do more than simply exist, guys, and come with me into the Uncharted football realm. Break!